We spend our lives building walls to keep the world out. But how much time do we spend building the space that lets us back in? A garden isn't just a yard. It's a sanctuary, but even a sanctuary needs a frame. You might have the most beautiful peonies or the greenest grass on the street, but if the transition between them is messy, the eye never rests. I learned that the secret of professional landscapes isn't always more plants. It's the line. It's the line. Today I am going to show you 12 ways to frame your garden like a professional, from completely free to permanent concrete, so you can finally finish your sanctuary. Before we get into the 12 ideas, I want to give you something really useful. A way to actually choose which one is right for you. Because there are 3 questions that will instantly narrow it down. First, budget. These 12 ideas range from $0 if you re-upcycling what you already have, all the way to $300 for a permanent concrete curb that will outlast your mortgage. Second, climate. If you live somewhere with hard winters and frost, you need materials that won't heave out of the ground when the soil freezes and thaws. Flexible plastic, steel, and deep-set stone all handle this well. Terracotta and shallow bricks, not so much. Third, home style. A rustic farmhouse calls for cedar logs or river stone. A modern minimalist home wants steel or concrete. A cottage garden, brick or lavender framing. Let your house tell you what it needs. Keep those 3 filters in mind as we go through the list. By the end, you'll know exactly which one to try first. Number 1. The Heirloom Brick. This is the classic for a reason. It's affordable, it's durable, and it gives your garden that timeless, structured look that never goes out of style. Here is exactly how to do it. Start by digging a shallow trench, exactly 2 to 3 inches deep. This is important. Too shallow, and the bricks will rock. Too deep, and you'll lose the visual height. Next, pour a thin layer of sand along the bottom of the trench. This acts as a leveler. It lets you tap each brick into a perfectly flat position, even if your soil is uneven. Now press the bricks in, side by side, and tap each one flush with your rubber mallet. Here's your design choice. With brick, lay them flat for an elegant, low-profile look. Tilt them at a 45-degree angle for a vintage, diamond pattern feel. Or stand them vertically for a bold, tall border with real visual presence. Pro tip: if you're going for the angled look, make sure every brick is leaning the exact same direction before you backfill. That consistency is everything. Number 2, organic river stone. And I love this one because it can cost you absolutely nothing if you have a creek, a riverbank, or a gravel path nearby. The technique here is different from brick. Don't rush it. Pick up each stone and actually look at it. Feel how its irregular shape fits against the next one. You're building a small dry stone wall, and it's the imperfection that makes it beautiful. For a casual, relaxed look, lay them side by side, each stone touching its neighbor, for more height and definition. Stack 2 layers, like a low garden wall. The stones I love most for this are smooth, rounded ones. Charcoal gray or pale cream work beautifully against almost any flower color. This is the one edging that will genuinely last forever. Stone doesn't rot. It doesn't rust, and after a hard rain, it looks even better. Number 3, and this one is for the modern homeowners, architectural steel edging. These thin strips of steel or aluminum create a razor-sharp borderline that almost disappears from a distance. What you're left with is the illusion that your lawn and your garden bed are perfectly, surgically separated. Installation is actually very straightforward. Drive the steel stakes into the ground. Then press the strip down until the top edge sits just at soil level or just above the grass line. Hammer the connecting stakes flush. The beauty of steel is what it doesn't do. It won't shift in frost. It won't rot in wet winters. It won't fade in summer sun. In 20 years, it will look exactly the same. If your home has clean geometry steel maches that energy perfectly. Number 4, the woodland cedar split. This is the most rustic, most natural looking edging on our entire list, and it might be free. If you have salvaged timber, fallen branches, or even old fence posts, this is your idea. Cut them into short sections, about 4 to 6 inches long. Press them firmly into the soil, side by side, with the cut end facing up. Pack them tight enough that they support each other. Over time, the wood develops a beautiful silver-gray patina. It weathers and ages with your garden. It starts looking intentional in a way that brand new wood never does. This works especially well around wildflower beds, herb patches, or cottage-style plantings, where you actually want that organic, lived-in feel. The honest trade-off: this lasts 3 to 7 years before the wood breaks down. But if it cost you nothing, replacing it costs you nothing. Number 5. The permanent solution. The professional concrete curb. This is on a weekend afternoon project. It has a one-time investment that you will never have to think about again. 50 years of lifespan. No shifting. No replacement. Here's how it works. A continuous form is set along the edge of the bed like a mold. Concrete is poured in, smoothed, and shaped into one unbroken border. When it cures, the form is removed, and what remains is a perfect, permanent edge. The design flexibility is bigger than most people realize. You can stamp it to look like natural cobblestone. You can tint it any color: charcoal, terracotta, cream. You can curve it, angle it, follow any shape you want. If budget is a concern, get 3 quotes from local concrete contractors. For smaller beds, this can come in under $150. This is the one you install and forget about forever. Number 6. The gravel ribbon. This is a soft transition. Instead of a hard edge, a 6-inch wide band of decorative pebbles between your lawn and your garden bed. The key is to lay a weed membrane down first, before you pour the gravel. That membrane is what separates a beautiful gravel ribbon from a weed nightmare in year 2. Don't skip it! Then simply pour your pebbles over the top and rake them level. The practical benefit that most people miss. Gravel allows water to drain straight through instead of pooling against plant stems. This keeps your roots healthier and significantly reduces root rot. For color, white crushed quartz is dramatic and modern. Brown river pebbles are warm and natural. Black basalt is bold against light-colored flowers. Match the pebble color to your home's exterior trim and it looks completely intentional. If you want sweeping curves, those long, flowing S-shapes that make a garden look designed instead of just planted, this is the only affordable material that can actually make that shape. Rigid brick, stone, and concrete cannot bend into a true curve. Flexible plastic can follow any line you draw. Installation is satisfying. Unroll the strip along your planned edge. Press it into a shallow groove in the soil, just 1 inch or 2 deep. Tap it, level with a mallet. Done. The honest limitation. This is not a forever product. 3 to 5 years. An UV degradation will make it brittle, but at $5 to $15 a roll, replacing it every few years is not a hardship. 4 curves. Nothing touches it at this price. Number 8. For the gardens that want to feel like they belong in the south of France. Mediterranean terracotta tiles. These are decorative clay tiles, often with scalloped edges or floral pressed patterns that you set along the border like a row of small sculptures. They are a work of art at your garden's edge. Installation is the same as brick: shallow trench, sand base, tap level. The difference is the visual impact, especially in late afternoon light. Terracotta tiles glow. The key planting pairing. The warm orange-red clay was made for aromatic plants. Lavender, rosemary, thyme. The Mediterranean palette in both color and scent. 1 climate caution. In regions with hard freeze-thaw cycles, terracotta can crack. If you're in a cold winter climate, look for frost-rated ceramic tiles. Instead, they're made with the same aesthetic, but engineered for cold. Number 9. And this one genuinely surprises people. Upcycled glass bottles. Collect empty wine bottles, olive oil bottles, any glass bottle with a nice shape. Press them neck first into the soil along the bed edge, deep enough that only the flat base is exposed. In normal daylight, it's a quirky, creative border. But in the morning, when the low sun hits those glass bases, they light up like jewels. Green, amber, cobalt blue, glowing from within. Cost: whatever you've already consumed. Literally $0. The practical notes: pack the soil firmly around each bottle so they stand perfectly vertical. Alternate colors intentionally for the best light effect. Undubiously keep this one away from areas where children or bare feet might be nearby. Number 10. The concrete paver. Not the curb we saw in Idea 5. These are individual precast slabs, typically 12 to 24 inches long, that you lay end to end along the border. They are heavier and more substantial than bricks, which means they won't shift with ground movement, and they don't need a concrete pour to install. The design advantage that separates pavers from bricks: size. Their larger footprint creates a visual anchor. Your eye sees the bed as more structured, more intentional. And here, essay, functional bonus. If you extend the paver line from the garden edge directly toward your front door, it naturally becomes a pathway. The edging and the path become one continuous design element. Charcoal and slate gray pavers against green lawn is one of the best modern landscape combinations available. Number 11. The elevated raised bed. This one changes the game entirely, because instead of just framing the garden at ground level, you're lifting it. Use timber planks, stacked stone, or galvanized steel frames to raise the entire garden bed 6 to 8 inches above the lawn level. Why does this matter? First, visibility. An elevated bed stands out. It has presence. It tells people this was designed. Second, your back. Kneeling in a ground-level bed for an afternoon of planting and weeding is hard on your knees and your lower back. An elevated bed means you're bending less. For herb and vegetable gardens, especially ones you're tending every week. This is genuinely. Third, drainage and soil quality. You fill an elevated bed with your own custom mix, so you're not fighting your native soil. Perfect for vegetables, herbs, and strawberries. For timber, use cedar or redwood. They're naturally rot-resistant and will last 10 to 15 years minimum. Number 12, my personal favorite. The living frame. Instead of any hard material, you use low-growing plants as the border itself. Boxwood, for a formal architectural look. It clips into a perfect hedge line and holds its shape all year round. English lavender for a softer, more romantic edge. It spills slightly over the lawn, flowers in purple waves through summer, and the entire garden smells extraordinary. Creeping time for something unusual. It grows dense and flat, flowers in tiny pink or purple blooms, and releases scent every time you brush past it. Plant them in a single line, 6 to 8 inches apart. Water consistently in year 1 while they establish, and then just watch. Here's what makes this different from every other idea. This is the only edging that gets better with time. Every other material weathers, fades, or breaks down. A living frame thickens, fills in, and becomes more beautiful every single year. Some edges are installed. This one is grown. Here's every option side by side so you can compare at a glance. If you're a total beginner and want to start this weekend, flexible plastic, river stone, or the gravel ribbon, all under $40. All installable in an afternoon. If you want something that will last decades without any maintenance, steel, edging, concrete pavers, or the concrete curb. If you want something that costs nothing right now, Cedar Split from fallen branches, or upcycled glass bottles. And if you want the one that only gets more beautiful over time, the living frame is the answer. Before you head outside, 5 mistakes I want you to avoid. I've seen all of these, and every one of them is fixable if you know it's coming. Mistake 1. Trench too shallow. If you dig less than 2 inches deep for brick or stone, the edging will rock and shift within a season. Always measure your depth before you start laying material. Mistake 2. Skipping the sand base. Even a ½ inch of sand makes a massive difference. It lets you tap each piece perfectly level. Without it, your finished edge will look wavy, and you'll notice it every single day. Mistake 3. Ignoring frost heave. If you live somewhere with cold winters, the ground freezes and expands, then thaws and contracts. Shallow, rigid edging gets pushed right out of the ground. Use flexible plastic, deep-set steel, or below frost line anchored stone if you're in a cold climate. Mistake 4. Curves too tight for rigid material. You cannot force a straight brick into a tight curve. The gap between each brick opens up, and it looks messy. 4 curves tighter than about a 4-foot radius, use flexible plastic, and then infill with decorative gravel or stone. Mistake 5. No weed. Membrane under gravel. The gravel ribbon looks beautiful in month 1. Without a membrane underneath, weeds push through from below by summer. Lay the membrane first. Always your home is the story you tell the world. But your garden, that's the story you tell yourself. The one you see out the window on a Tuesday morning. The one you step into when you need a moment of quiet. The one that reflects how much care you're willing to put into your own life. Every clean edge is a choice to make your sanctuary a little more finished, a little more peaceful, a little more yours. Which one will you try first? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one. If this helped you, subscribe, because we're building this sanctuary one video at a time. And the full materials list, tool guide, and cost breakdown is linked in the description below.